What's up, everybody? I'm here with Lea, also known as Courseskate on Steam. We actually met in Poland in November at SteamFest. And what does your username mean, actually, Courseskate?
So this is the question I always get, like, from everyone, because it's such a weird word that not a lot of people know. But it basically means to reflect brilliantly or to sparkle. And when I was joining the Steam blockchain, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use my real name or if I wanted to be more anonymous, and so I decided just to pick a word, and so.
Good choice.
Yeah.
So you said join Steam, and a lot of people around here that aren't really familiar with the Steam blockchain refer to it as Steam It. So because we're sponsored by Steam Monsters, you want to just kind of explain the difference between dApps that are built with Steam and what the difference is with all that?
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely used to be one of those people that always just said Steam It because that's just kind of was the common vernacular. But when you really, I feel like that's limiting because that's really only one web interface. When you look at the totality of the Steam blockchain and how many dApps are already built on top of it and how many more will come, Steam Monsters obviously being one of the coolest ones. And so by saying that you're involved in Steam, you're not limiting yourself just to talking about one blogging platform. You can open yourself up to talking about Apex, which is kind of like an Instagram, kind of replacement, or DTube, which is like YouTube, or Dpol, or there's just so many different Dsound, where you can post music, and I could keep going. There's so many really cool applications that are built on the Steam blockchain, which is part of why I think Steam really has something for everyone. No matter what your interests are, no matter what kind of social media or what types of apps you like to use. There's so many options that are available on Steam.
So how did you get involved with Steam, or in the blockchain specifically? Was it Bitcoin that led you into this, or did you just stumble across Steam? Or Steam It at the time, probably, right?
Right, Steam It at the time, yeah. So actually, my boyfriend is a big crypto person, and he'd been kind of telling me, hey, you should think about investing in crypto, and I'd kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but not really. And then I found Steam and was like, this is actually, it made sense to me. It was okay, this isn't just some thing for nerds. You know what I mean? It's actually there's real life application. There's Instagram type things. There's the social media component is what connected with me. So to me, it feels like Steam is almost like that gateway drug to crypto. At least for people like me that are just kind of that weren't involved in crypto before but were curious about it. It kind of gave me an application that was similar to things I was already doing in my normal life, and so that transition to doing things on the blockchain was a lot easier.
Steam is definitely in my educational package, most definitely. It's the light quiver, because it's just so easy to explain blockchain with games or social media. And a lot of it, we do have an onboarding process, obviously, because the inflation of the currency has to pay for the account.
Right.
But when you're getting involved with something that will generate value for yourself and income, it's probably not a bad idea to feel like you have to make an investment into this thing as far as your time and maybe a little bit of money. It's very inexpensive, but because everybody's used to the entitlement state and getting things free, but there's a cost at that. If you sign on to Facebook or Instagram or to these other social platforms, you don't own your data. Though with Steam, we own all this stuff. And with Steam Monsters, for example, if you want to play the game for 2 years and just leave because you're done with it, you could sell all your cards. There's an online marketplace to do that. Whereas with these other digital games, you're kind of just screwed. You lose your money unless you want to continue playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that ownership of data is something that's becoming more and more important to people, and something that they're becoming more aware of as something that is actually valuable, as there's been more security hacks on Facebook and people getting demonetized and banned on YouTube. More and more people are starting to look at their privacy and their data. And so I think that this message of owning your own private keys, owning your own assets and information is really resonating with people right now.
And we still have to put a lot of effort in to teach people what private keys are and how to secure their own data, or their value, essentially. There's a learning curve, most definitely, but that's why we're here, and that's why you're there, and we all kind of are just on a mission to really educate and kind of help inspire everybody to get into this new ecosystem, you know?
And that's part of why I've been working, the beta launch is about to happen, but for STEAMonboarding.com, which is basically an onboarding website that you could basically teach STEAM to your grandma. Like, that's kind of the mission. Like, you can actually go from the very beginning of what is even cryptocurrency. And so we've been working on developing these kind of tutorial videos in a bunch of different languages that can help take people from that, like, what is this? I don't know what a private key means. I don't know what any of this means, and actually walk them kind of step by step so they have an easy transition into joining STEAM. So
awesome.
Something I've been working on.
Nice. Really cool. Really cool. So what about STEAM Fest 4?
STEAM Fest 4. I'm going to be there. That's what I got to say. Wherever it is, whatever. I flew all the way to Poland last time, right?
Yeah.
That was quite the trip. So for me, like, you can't put a price on these types of in-person events. I've been honestly using all of my vacation time from work to go to crypto-related events because it's so impactful, like, to meet people in person, like right here, like, we're actually getting to chat and hang out, and, like, we wouldn't have had this opportunity to connect so much if we were just behind our computers.
Totally.
And one thing that's really cool about STEAM is that I think the community is so much stronger than most, and people are really authentic and real, and you build real friendships. And so when you go to some of these events, like, the next event I'm going to is the Block Builders event in Austin this coming April. I've been to a few other STEAM-related events here in the United States and Canada as well, and you can't really even know what collaborations might come until you're in person, because, like, sure, the talks and the speeches and things are really inspiring, and it's cool to hear people, but the real power, I think, is at, like, 11 a.m. in the bar when everyone's chatting and you decide to work on a project together or do some sort of collaboration. And so when you get together in person, when you go to STEAM Fest 4, when you go to all these different things, it's pretty powerful, and you can't really even explain what might come from it until you just go and put yourself in that situation to be open to that.
So speaking of conferences, and badass ones at that, will we see you at Anarchadelphia?
Hopefully. Again, the whole vacation time from work, like I said, is limited, but I'd love to make it. I think that what you're doing is really cool. Like, there's the fact that we have to get to Acapulco to really attend any kind of free thinkers anarchist event it's great. Trust me, I'm loving, like, working on my tan. I know you guys can't see it, but it's there. but honestly, like, it's not the easiest city to get to. There are so many people that told me they wished that they could have come, and it's expensive and it's difficult to get to Mexico. And so to have an event that's in the United States that is so much more accessible to people, I just think is amazing. I love what you guys are doing, and I think that you guys are going to be so successful in this event because there's just so many people that want to get to this kind of event that can't make it down to Mexico.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, it was great talking to you. You want to tell these guys where they can find you? And yeah.
Sure. Okay. So the best place to find me is on Steam at Choruscate, which is CORUSCATE. So you can just go to steemit.com/Choruscate, and that's the best way to find me.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Join the State of Anarchy this September's Harvest Moon in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where this gathering of like minds aims to foster unbreakable relationships between the movement's leading forces, whom teach self-love and ownership, blockchain techno-economics, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge. So will we see you there?